Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monkeying Around Reviews. Today, we're going to take a look at the Nest E thermostat. This is the newest version of the Nest thermostat. E is for economy, and the biggest difference is this one's made out of plastic, where the regular Nest is made out of a metal. This one is about 2 centimeters smaller in diameter, and it does not have the fancy screen on the front, so it doesn't show you the weather, temperature, and time. It shows you just the temperature on a very integrated look design on here. So we're going to open this up and take a look at what it's inside. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of this plastic. Get rid of that. And we're going to open this up. If I can get it out of here. Removing sticker. Safety so that you know that it's new. Now it'll open right on up. So there it is right inside there. That's the Nest E. Gonna pull this right on out. It's a nice small white puck. Not much to it. It's very sleek. It'll fit right in with my white walls. Very thin. Probably about 1 inch thick. And just one little plug here on the back that'll hook into the rest of the unit that's in the box that all the wires go into. So we're going to pull out the little bit that this sticks in. What else is in here? Instruction manual. The back half. So this is what hooks to the wall. The wires will come through here, and then all the wires plug into this piece here. And then that is where the Nest hooks into it. So this is your power part, and this is the actual working part that you'll see. Here's a little warning that says turn off the power to the heating and cooling system before you connect. Little safety warning there. A holder for 2 screws. So these are the screws that'll hold the back of the Nest onto the wall. And then last but not least, a fancy little wall plate. So you have your choice of this little piece here that will take up the space of the old unit, because my old one's rectangular, so I might put this on there just to kind of hide the unpainted part behind it. Or you can use just this, but if you want to use both, they go right together like that. So let's leave this room, and we're going to go over to where my thermostat is now. We're going to take that one off, put this new one on, and see how it works. Come on with me. Alright, so here's my original thermostat. We're going to turn off the power, remove this whole unit, put the new one on right here, and we're going to see how easy that is to do. So stand by as you do this with me. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is open up this panel. They recommend taking a photo of all these colors so you can remember what each color went to. I actually wrote it down, went a little old school, but it's the same. Now what we're going to do is disconnect all of these cables out of here. And now we're going to remove these 2 screws so the whole panel will come off the wall. Alright, so now you can see we have just the wires. So we're going to get the new cover that's going to go on here, and then the actual Nest that we're going to plug these wires back into. And then it should be that simple. And then, and add the 2 screws that holds it on the wall. So here we have the plate. I'm going to use the plate because it'll cover up this big hole that's here. If I use just the Nest, it would still cover it pretty well, but I still have the old holes here. So for now, I think I'm going to use this plate. So we're going to feed all the wires through here. And that makes for a much cleaner look, at least on my wall. And then we're going to feed the wires through the Nest itself. So it'll look like that. Now if I didn't want to use the plate, and I went straight through the Nest itself, it would be like that, and then I'd have these holes that I would still have to plug up. So personally, I think I'm fine with this. If I don't like it in the future, it's an easy enough removal and fix, because this is not being attached any other way than just the screws that are going through here and holding it on. So for now, we're going to do it this way. Should just line right up, like so. So we're going to get a pencil, and we're going to mark it where we want to actually have the screws go into the wall. There is a small little level here which will help you with figuring out where you need to put it so it looks level on here. So we're going to line up the hole, and then we're going to line up the level right there. Going to mark it, and now we're going to screw some holes in. Not a lot of room to work in here. This is a very small setup. So there's the first screw. And then the second screw. And then before we tighten it, we're going to make sure the level's still level. And there you go. It's now installed, so now we're going to take the wires and match the colors to the right spots. So on my cheat sheet, I have my orange wire going to my O for orange here on the bottom. So we're going to push that button in, slide it in, and it locks. My blue, or I'm guessing cyan, goes into the C. Like so. White to W. Red to R. Green to green, or G to green. And lastly, yellow to Y. And there we go. All the wires are nicely plugged in, except for my red I need to do again. That's it, and now we're going to put the cover on. Alright, so I have the nest here, and now we're just going to take this and plug it into the wall. This piece here lines up with this piece here, and that's it. So we're just going to take this, it's going to line up, hopefully. Just like that. So it's on the wall. This rotates nicely, and it doesn't want to come off. So there you have it. The nest was so easy to install. It was pretty quick. It's just matching up the old wires to the new wires. If you don't have color-coded wires like I did, the instruction manual does come with labels, so you can label all the wires before you disconnect them from your old system, so you'll know where they go in on this one. So I'm going to go turn the power back on, and we're going to see how this thing looks and how it works. Alright, so it's got power. Right here it lists a whole bunch of languages. We're going to choose US English by spinning the dial and then pushing in on it. Confirm your choice. English. Setup language has been checked. Internet connection, we're going to check that. connect to the internet for remote control updates and local weather. Connect. I'm going to choose my Wi-Fi, and then I'm going to type in the password. And now it says that it's connecting. So we just let it spin, getting address, connecting to internet. The thermostat is online. Press to continue. Checking for software updates. The thermostat will update automatically later. Well, that's nice. So now my language has a check mark, my internet connection has a check mark. Now we're going into your location. Your location lets Nest set the local time and determine the weather forecast. Okay? It's gonna give me my zip code and my city. That's yes. Please describe this location. Single family, multifamily, apartment, or business. I'm gonna select that. Where is it located? We're in the hallway. Heating and cooling. Are you a Nest Pro, a homeowner, or a pro? I am a homeowner. All right, it's now asking if I have dual fuel or single fuel. I'm a single fuel. Choose the equipment wired to the OB connector. Is it a heat pump, a stage 2 cool, or a stage 2 heat? I have a heat pump. So now it's showing you everything that it's connected. So Y is the heat and cool, G is the fan, R is the power, W is my auxiliary heat, my C is my 24 volt common, and my asterisk OB is my heat pump. So I'm going to continue. Your system, heat pump heating, auxiliary heating, emergency heating, heat pump cooling, fan, continue. What type of heating do you have? Forced air, in-floor radiant, radiators, or more infra? I have forced air. Does your heat pump use an O wire, common, or B wire, less common? Mine uses the O. All right, so we've got another check mark next to heating and cooling. Our next selection here is temperature. Should Nest begin by heating or cooling your home? We're actually pretty good right now, but let's go with cooling. Choose your eco temperatures. Heat to off and cool to off. All right, so we want to heat to, I like keeping the house, oh, it only heats to 70 for eco. Okay. And cool to 76. So it looks like the coolest temperature the eco lets you cool to is 76, and the hottest you can heat it to is 70 when you're using your eco features. All right, we're going to do a system test now. Nest is now configured for your system. Continue. Your system is ready to test. You can test it now or test it later from the settings. Let's test it now. What do you want to test? Heat pump heating. Okay. I just heard it turn on. I'm going to check the vents. It might take a few minutes for the air to begin. I'll be right back. All right, so the heat's been tested. So now we're going to hit done. The heat has been turned off. It may take a few minutes for the fan to stop. What do you want to test? Heat pump cooling. It's going to start the test in 2 minutes, it says. So we'll be right back. All right, so it now says that the air conditioning should be on and to check the vents. I've checked the air is running, so we can hit done. The air conditioning's now been turned off. Last but not least, I'm going to test my fan. Testing the fan, which is the G wire. The fan should be on. Make sure the air is coming out of the vents. I'm going to check the vents, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I've walked around and it's working as well. I went outside and made sure that I could actually hear the fan spinning, and everything seems to be working perfectly. So now I'm going to hit done again. The fan has been turned off, and then done again. Now I've tested everything except for my auxiliary and emergency heating because I don't have that. So I'm just going to skip on past those and go on down to done. And now it says Nest app. So I'm going to click that. Would you like to control this thermostat with the Nest app? Yes or not now? I'm going to say yes. Getting an entry key. Download the Nest app or create an account at nest.com and add your product. You will need to enter a key. So I'm going to download the app and enter in my key, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I finished installing the app. I typed in the passcode, and then it took me to this page where it says that I'm at home. It's telling me the temperature of the home outside, which is 69 degrees and cloudy. And then here's hallway, which is what I've named this location. And it's saying that I want to set it to 72 on the heat side and 76 on the cool side. Now back here at the Nest, it says, do you want to turn on an auto schedule or start with a basic one? So you can roll around to auto, basic, or more info. So right now I'm just going to say auto schedule. Nest will learn your preferred temperature based on your adjustments. Okay, setup is done. It may take a few minutes to show the correct temperature. Continue. Finish. And there you go. This is actually now matching what you see here on the phone. So you got the 72 for hot and the 76 for cool. Same thing that it's showing on here. So that's it. That's how quick and easy it is to set up this new Nest E thermostat. It doesn't show you anything for outside. It doesn't give you a fancy screen to show you the temperature or if it's cloudy or any of that other information. But for me, this is perfect because it's in the hallway. This is not where I'm going to go to set up the information that I want to see. I actually have the Alexas in the house that I'll connect to this, and it's where I go to get my weather information. So this right here, it was perfect for me, especially since this right now was $80 cheaper than the original Nest thermostat. So I'm going to play around with this for a little bit, see exactly what it can do and what it can't do, and I'll probably report back on another video to let you know. Alright, so I've zoomed in a little bit so you can actually see the way that this display looks. So right now, you are seeing the red, which is saying 72, and the blue, which is showing 76. So that's where I want the temperature to get to, depending on if it needs to heat or cool. That white dot in the middle, that is actually where the temperature is in the house right now, which is 74. So if we turn the panel, it's where you can go into change. So this is where I can click here and say, oh, I want it to cool to a different temperature. It also shows you right there that it's 74 in the house. Same thing for the heat. I turn it the other way and I can press to change it. Now to get into the actual menu of here, you just press on the screen and here's where everything is. So right now it says that I'm set for heat and cool. If I go over here, it's going to switch it to cool only and over here to heat only. So if you are in the middle of the summer and you know you're not going to be using the heat, come on over to switch to cool. And it's going to show you that you want it to be set to 75 and it's 74 right now. Over this way, you can switch it to eco mode and you can turn off the unit completely. Down here are 3 more settings. You can run the fan, go into the actual settings of the whole panel, or go here to return back, and it's showing you the outside temperature of 69 degrees and it's Monday at 10:21 a.m. Now I was unaware that it actually had this page. I thought it did not have any outside information, so I was wrong, so this was nice to find. If we go back into settings, this is where you can set your fan schedules, your energy history, see the schedule, lock the whole system, set your eco modes, you have your home away assist, your Nest Sense, reminders, and there's so much more in here. This is actually the same information that you find on the app, but it's nice that you can do it all right here on the panel. So we're going to go back out here to the regular page. I also have this set up that it will wake when you walk by. You can tell it to wake when it walks by or when you press on the screen. So as you see now, the screen has gone blank, and as I just happen to walk by it a little bit, it's going to turn back on by itself. So that is the sensor on here, so it'll always turn on when someone happens to walk by it, so you can see the settings. Now that we're set up and installed, now comes the fun part. The whole reason that we got this Nest here, it's integration into the smart home system. So I went ahead and downloaded the app, set up everything, and then I went into Alexa and I set up the skill. So we're all good to go. So now all I have to do is say, Alexa, turn up the temperature 5 degrees. And there you go, it went up 5 degrees. I can also say, Alexa, turn the temperature down 5 degrees. And now it's returned to where it was. So you can go up or down or tell it a temperature that you want it to be. Alexa, turn the temperature to 80 degrees.
Auto's keeping the temperature between 78 and 82.
And there you go. It says 78 to 82, 80 right in the middle. But we don't want that. We want to take it back to where it was. Alexa, set the temperature to 73 degrees.
Auto's keeping the temperature between 71 and 75.
Alexa, take the temperature to 74 degrees.
Between 72 and 76.
And there we have it. Now as you see, the screen does keep dimming because it times out when you're not using it. So I'm either rotating the ring here, or if you walk by and it senses you there, it'll turn back on. But that's how easy it is to integrate into the Alexa system. You watch me do the install, I set up the app, I went ahead and just added in the skill. It was that simple, and boom, it works. I don't have to call it by the name hallway that I've named it. It just knows that it's the only temperature thermostat sensor inside the house, so it uses that to get all the information. So once again, this has been Monkeying Around Reviews with the Nest E thermostat. If you have any questions or comments, please say so below, and as always, make sure you subscribe.